First of all, though, let's talk about the migrant crisis. The Home Secretary Yvette Cooper, Calamity Cooper, is going to chuck another 75 million quid into the black hole of our efforts to allegedly solve this crisis. She's going to buy a load of new technology, state-of-the-art technology aimed at, catching the people smuggling gangs, also enhanced intelligence capabilities. They've just hired this guy, Martin Hewitt, former copper, on 200 grand a year to head up the so-called Border Security Command. It's all about smashing the gangs, smash the gangs, smash the gangs, the people smuggling gangs. Well, anybody who knows anything about it knows that that's the wrong tactic. You know, you can smash the gangs. It won't stop the migrants. We should be stopping the migrants. There doesn't seem to be any plan to do that at all. Meanwhile, by the way, just to let you know, as you know, there were over 2,000 crossings over the weekend, 8 deaths and 200 rescues from the sea. And Keir's total today overtook the 10,000 mark. Since he came into power on July the 4th, 10,024 migrants have illegally crossed the channel. That takes this year's tally to 23,598 and seriously rising. It's out of control, folks, and these two, Starmer and Cooper, haven't got the faintest idea what to do. Let's talk to Reform UK's excellent Ben Habib. Hello, Ben.
Good evening, Kevin. What a depressing picture, but accurate picture you paint.
Well, it's true, isn't it? I mean, so she's announced she's taking £75 million that would have been for the Rwanda scheme, and she's now going to chuck it into this new scheme to do with smashing the gangs. Now, anybody who knows anything about the migrant crisis will tell you any day of the week, you can smash the gangs all you like. There'll be new ones tomorrow. As long as there are migrants, there will be gangs. So this idea on the part of our incompetent government that somehow if you catch these evil people smugglers, by the way, that would be very difficult to do, but if you do, that solved the crisis is nonsense. That if you catch a load today, there'll be new ones tomorrow. So they're going at this the totally wrong way.
And they know they're going at it the wrong way. They know that. But what they need to do is try and hold the populace at bay while they do basically what the Conservatives did, which is a lot of performative action, which leads to nothing. And as you said, the only way to stop the migrant crisis is to stop the migrants from coming. We've got to stop the boats. And in turn, France needs to stop them from entering France. And before that, Switzerland, Italy. You know, we've got to push them back into North Africa, into Syria, Turkey, wherever it was they came from. You don't enforce borders through deportation. Deportation, or the busting of criminal activity, is what is required after borders have already been breached. We've got to stop our borders from being breached in the first place. That's the issue.
Yeah, indeed. And we have to send a deterrent. There is no deterrent. These migrants, they know that once they get into the dinghies, if they make it across, and tragically quite a few of them don't, 8 drowned over the weekend, 200 were rescued from the sea. But then again, more than 2,000 did make it across. They know that once they get here, they get a free hotel, they get free money, they get free food, they get free doctors, they get free dentists, they get free lawyers to fight their asylum-seeking case. This is ludicrous. The French just say, how do you expect us to persuade them not to come to your country when you welcome them with open arms like that, when you give them all these facilities? Why can't we stop being quite so welcoming to these illegal people who invade us, frankly?
So we spend £50,000 per head per illegal migrant. The French spend £5,000 per head per illegal migrant. The economic imperative for these migrants is obvious. They come to the United Kingdom for a £45,000 per head pickup in their own interests. They're economic migrants. When they make that journey across the channel, they're economic migrants. But I've got a real bone to pick with the French. How dare they take the thick end of £1 billion, which is what they've taken off us over the last 5 years, say that they're going to shut down those dinghies leaving their coasts and absolutely do nothing about it. Yeah. And remember, if we're getting 30 or 40,000 illegal migrants a year, the French are letting in, because of their stupid membership of the Schengen zone, 180,000 illegal migrants per annum. That's what the French are getting in each year, 180,000. Yeah. And they've got to shut their borders. What we've got to do is remember that borders exist for our protection, and we've got to enforce them. It's simple. It requires political will. It requires being robust. And actually, ultimately, it is the most humane thing to do, because by not stopping this flow of people, we're encouraging more to cross the channel, and more will die in the channel. Moreover, our own civil society will be assaulted by criminal elements, undoubtedly, who come through this illegal route. It is uncivilized not to stop the boats.
Indeed, and it's lethal not to stop the boats. Now, I don't know if you like soup, Ben, but here's a bowl of word soup for you from the new head of the Border Security Command, a guy who looks like Joe 90. His name is Martin Hewitt. Listen to this.
As the new Border Security Commander, my mission is to deliver a step change in all of the work that we are doing to disrupt and dismantle the criminal gangs that are not only trying to breach our borders but are also risking people's lives. By creating the command, so my message to those groups is that we will be attacking your business in every way that we can across all the routes into the UK.
That doesn't amount to a hill of beans, does it? That's just words. And they will not, as I keep saying, you can smash as many gangs as you like. There'll be new ones tomorrow. If you don't stop the migrants, if you don't deter the migrants, if you don't send the message to the migrants, once you get to Britain, you'll be on the first boat back, or you'll be on the first plane back to your country, or you'll be arrested, then they'd stop coming, wouldn't they? I mean, this nonsense from this border...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But even if you take them at face value and you believe for a second that they wish to break the people smuggling gangs, the Border Security Command comprises 5 domestic British agencies: Immigration Enforcement, Border Force, the Crown Prosecution Service, MI5, and the National Criminal Agency. None of these have any authority to act in Europe. They can't go to Europe to tackle these criminal gangs.
What do you think they'd be doing? Just running around Dover Beach or something?
Absolutely. The thing is a joke. The whole thing is a blooming joke. And they're taking the British people for fools. But the British people aren't fools. We know what it is. We know what's going on. We know this is all just performative. I mean, it's
to allow them to keep coming. I mean, as you just saw, Ben, our dear leader, Keir Starmer, was just in Italy with Giorgia Meloni. Some of his cohort Labour MPs going, but she's a fascist. It's just ridiculous, childish nonsense. But she said that Keir was quite impressed, very impressed by her efforts to reduce their migrant crisis. And indeed, she has succeeded in bringing down the numbers arriving in Italy by an impressive 62%.
She has.
She's done this by doing a deal with Albania. So from now on, all asylum-seeking applications for Italy are done in Albania. So people arriving in Italy know that they directly go to Albania. That is a good deterrent. And also she's done deals, successful deals with Libya and Tunisia, giving them a lot of money to patrol their shores properly and stop the boats coming in the first place. So what that would, the question that would beg is, when we, as you quite rightly said, gave France the best part of £1 billion, and we're still giving it to them, by the way, in increments, why have they done nothing to stop the boats? I mean, they don't do anything.
The French are no friends of the United Kingdom. The French bite our hand every opportunity that they get. I wouldn't give the French a penny. And by the way, the economics of the arrangement are all wrong. If you want the French to stop people coming, you don't pay them to do it, because they realize that if they were then to succeed in their obligation to stop people coming, they would not get any more money. So they've got a vested interest. The minute you show them an inclination to pay them for stopping people coming, they will send you even more people because they know we're weak enough to pay them money, increasing sums of money in the hope that they might do something. No, what we've got to recognize is that this can't be done through bilateral action with France. France is not a friend of the United Kingdom. A lot of people hearing me say that won't like it. It may be quoted back to me in the future, but we know that France isn't a friend of the United Kingdom through the way they treated us over Brexit, the way they treated us over fish, and the way they treated Jersey, threatening to cut it off from its electricity supply if they didn't get access to our fish, the way they impounded our ships, and the way they turned their backs on their obligations to the British people by reneging on the deal that they did with the government. So I'm saying unequivocally, they're not friends of the United Kingdom. We have to do what's right for the United Kingdom, and that means enforcing our own borders unilaterally. Forget the French. The other thing Meloni did that was really good was made it illegal for Italian boats to pick up migrants and bring them back to Italy. She's made it illegal. So there's no border force or RNLI equivalent that's going out to Libya, going out into the Med and bringing these people back. I actually thought Meloni wasn't going to succeed. And I have to say, I'm delighted she's brought it down by such a significant percentage.
And you know, Ben, you know what the difference between Giorgia Meloni and Keir Starmer is? Giorgia Meloni genuinely wanted to solve Italy's migrant crisis.
Yeah.
Keir Starmer doesn't particularly want to solve ours. Labour likes migrants. It likes them turning up in their droves.
Absolutely.
And by the way, his trip to Rome, just as he was leaving, he said to Giorgia, he said, yeah, I like your migrant processing scheme. I like your approach to it. Here's £4 million. To tackle the root causes of illegal migration. I mean, he just quickly chucked a £4 million quid. I mean, why? But anyway, to go back to that point, I think that's my crucial point. I think you agree with it. Meloni always wanted to solve their crisis, and credit to her, she's beginning to do it. Our guy, Starmer, doesn't really, does he?
No, he doesn't. And that's why I may have said it on your programme. I know I've said it before. Keir Starmer is anti-British. Keir Starmer is fundamentally anti-British. Anyone who wishes to be governed by a foreign power, as he does from Brussels, who's prepared to take down their borders, who doesn't champion British interests, is anti-British. And again, people may not like me saying it, but it's time we told the truth fundamentally and in a raw way so people can appreciate what's going on. Keir Starmer is not for the interest of the United Kingdom.
I think so.
He is anti that which is good for us.
He's a globalist, he's a European, he's an EU fanatic. I'm going to ask you about that after we come back